All right, here we go. My name's Jeff K, and you're listening to episode 284 of the world-famous West Virginia Surf Report podcast.
Hello, world.
And we're back, broadcasting once again from deep underneath a nondescript home in suburban Pennsylvania. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading, streaming, 8-track tape, wax cylinder. I don't care. It doesn't matter. As long as you're listening, that's all I care. It doesn't matter about the delivery, the delivery mechanism. Hope you guys are doing well. Super hot here, really hot, humid. Oh God, it's demoralizing. It just ruins everything. It's freaking hot. Right now, I'm sitting down here in the bunker. It's a subterranean office, and so it should be cool, right? It's like those caves at the Yingling Brewery. It's a constant 52 degrees or whatever it is. I think it's 52. I think they said it's just a constant 52 degrees. How cool would that be? I guess we're not deep enough underground here, because it's hot. I'm sitting here, right here. I got a thin patina of sweat. I got a thin patina of sweat across my entire, large. There's a lot of real estate, and there's a thin patina of sweat across all of it. Right. Sucks. I hate it. Sucks. And I tell you what, I'm not going to go into it because I cannot. But the last 2 weeks at my job, that's why I haven't released a podcast episode. I don't have time. I'm in there working 12 hours a day. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on all the time. It's a mind blower. I wish when I started working at my current job, I wish I'd have kept a notebook or a series of notebooks and just wrote down stuff. I wish I'd have done that, because it is unbelievable. It's just like if I told people about the stuff that goes on, they wouldn't believe it. Now, but I forget about half of it or 2/3 of it. It sucks over the years. But anyway, it's been bad. It's been really stressful. I'm going to have one of those bleeding, sucking ulcers before it's all over. That's what it's leading to. It's really, it's tough on me. Too much, way too much. So anyway, sorry I've been away, but that's what I've been dealing with. I would rather be here, believe me. I have a few things jotted down. First of all, before I even get into that, we have these new neighbors next door here. They haven't moved in yet, but they're going to be moving in soon. And the guy, the husband, is over there all the time because they're having all kinds of work done. They had a whole bunch of trees removed. The guy said he was going to do it, and he wasn't just pissing in the wind. He told Tony, I guess every time somebody goes out of the house, he comes over and talks to him. I had never seen him before. I didn't even know what he looked like, and I'd never talked to him until yesterday. I'll get to that in a minute. But he told Tony, he said, if you guys don't have any problem with it, I think I'm going to have some of these trees removed. She said, have at it. These trees dump all kinds of crap on our lawn, and then none on our roof, and then our gutters. There's this big gigantic pine tree that just like wreaks havoc. And then there's an oak tree. I think it's an oak tree. I don't know. What am I? A scientist? A tree scientist? Remember on what was that thing called? Silicon Valley. The guy was going to create an app. It was like Shazam, except it was to identify trees. You just take a picture of a tree, and it would tell you what kind of tree it was. I need one of those. But anyway, I don't know what kind of tree it is. It's gigantic though, and it hangs over our front yard, and it just dumps an enormous amount of leaves in the fall. Massive amounts of leaves. He said he was going to cut that thing down, but then he changed his mind. But they did take that one big one that drops all those needles and stuff. So that thing's gone. He said he was going to do it, and then a couple days later he had a team out there. It took them all week. It took them days because I think they had 5 gigantic trees removed from their property, and now he's got somebody over there putting up a fence in the backyard. And they don't do fences up in here. I don't know. There's something about, this area that we live in, they're anti-fence. But he's going against the grain. He's putting a big old fence, a 6-foot fence around the backyard. Because he has 3 dogs, and they have 3 kids. And one of them's in high school, one of them's in junior high, and one of them's in grade school. Well, middle school. They don't call it junior high anymore. That's old folk talk. Because I'm an old folk. All right, but anyway, everybody talked to Tony has talked to this guy multiple times. She said he's nice and seems normal, and both the boys have talked to him. I'd never seen him, And yesterday I was running late. My boss was texting me, "You need to get down here. We got some shit going on." I'm like, "Oh God, not again! Please." So I raced to get, I got ready real fast. And I went out there, I was getting in my car, and here he comes over and starts talking to me. He goes, "Are you the dad?" I said, "I guess I am. I guess I am the dad." And he stood there and talked. I mean, he's nice, but I had to get the hell out of there. But he was talking. He goes, "I hope we have dogs. I hope that doesn't bother you." And we have 2 wiener dogs. They're kind of barky. I said, "That's all right." I said, "Whatever." I said, "I love dogs, so there's no issue with dogs." I said, "I love dogs. They're better than people." Kind of laughed. And I said, "Except for that dog that used to live in the house that you just bought, that thing's a piece of shit. It's like one of those high steppers, those big standard poodles." He's like, "What the?" I said, "Yeah, that thing's a piece of garbage." I said, I like dogs, but I had to, there's an exception to everything." So I told him that whole story. I said he put one of our kids in the hospital and all this stuff. He was like, "Holy crap." He goes, "No, our dogs aren't like that." And I said, "I said, "Most dogs aren't." But we had a conversation, but I had to get out of there. I had to skedaddle. You know what I'm saying? Use that word very often, skedaddle. But I had to get out of there. But he seems nice. It'll be nice to have like normal, like neighborly neighbors, Our neighbors don't talk to us. People across the street do. They're cool. They have these cats, these killers that just roam around the neighborhood just lying in wait to just murder something. I mean, they're just mass murderers, serial killers. There's 2 of them, and they just roam around with this air of, "What are you going to do about it?" They have this attitude of, "What are you going to do about it?" And then they're out there just killing stuff, just left and right, just leaving a trail of like carcasses and horror behind them. And one of them lives on our front porch, basically. I mean, that thing, we have these rocking chairs on our front porch. One of them just lays in that rocking chair on our porch for hours at a time every day. So you go out there and the thing's laying there and you say, "Hey, kitty." And the thing just looks at you, and then you move along. It won't let you. They're wild. They're like outdoor cats, and you can't pet them. You can't get near them. I mean, if you try to approach them, they'll, dart off. But those people across the street, see, I'm already on it. This is going to be like 15 minutes before I even get into the main topics. But those people across the street went on some long-term vacation, 3 weeks, and they supposedly had somebody that was looking out for those cats. They're outdoor cats, though, And I don't know. I don't think they were showing up on a consistent basis. They were over there. We'd see them over there every once in a while, but days would go by and we wouldn't see them. Tony started getting concerned about the cat that lives on our porch. She went out. What do you think about this? She went out and bought a salmon fillet, cooked it on the grill, I think. Or maybe it was indoors. She cooked it, and she put it she broke it up into chunks and stuff, and she put it in a container in a Tupperware or whatever. And every day she would go out there and give it a little bit of salmon. The thing was like grilled salmon, like expensive, And the thing was going to town, man. And then we give it water, We take care of this cat. Apparently, it's our cat now. We don't need a cat, but it lives over here, and then the other one lives on somebody else's porch. You know, they're cool. I mean, those people across the street, they're fine. We have no, we have a pretty good relationship with them. And I think we're going to have a pretty good relationship with these guys. I mean, he seems good, I mean, I have no issue. I mean, he seemed normal. And normal is hard to come by these days. Why is that? Why is normal out of the order? Why is normal abnormal? Why is that? I don't know. But anyway, so that's a good sign. He seemed cool. I like him. Let's see. I have a few things jotted down. First of all, another one before we even get into this is remember Jim Workman, who was on this podcast, and we talked. He came on and he went to the controversial Paul McCartney show in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Remember that? Just a few episodes back. That was the one where there was such a traffic gridlock that people did not even get into the show. You remember that? He went to that show, and I was getting ready. At that point, I was getting ready to see Paul McCartney and in Syracuse. So I had him on the show, and we talked about all that stuff. You remember him? Well, he sent me. He lives in West Virginia. He sent me a package in the mail the other day. It had 2 baseball caps from this AAA baseball team that used to play near us when I was a kid. When we were kids. Called the Charleston Charlies. They were for the most part Pittsburgh Pirates. They were the Pittsburgh Pirates AAA team. Charleston Charlies. This is when I was like in grade school, middle school, or junior high, deep into high school. I don't know. They were back in those days. They were called the Charleston Charlies, and that's where. So anyway, I don't know where he got these things, but it's the old classic logo of the Charlies as I remember it. And then a later version, like it was 2 caps. Now I'll post it at surfreportpod.com. But it's 2 caps, the original logo and then one that was revised later. Cool as hell, man. I love stuff like that. Thank you, man. That's an awesome gift. I appreciate it. I really do. When the Charlies used to play up there, this is back in the 70s, and into the 80s, they used to have old baseball players, like retired baseball players, would come up there and do appearances, for cash. This is back before, back when autographs weren't, autographs are now worth, $75 a pop or something. Back in those days, they would just do personal appearances. So I got to meet some of the biggest names in baseball history up at that place. And I'm talking Mickey Mantle, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, big-time stars. I met Pete Rose up there, Sparky Anderson, Satchel Paige. What do you think about that? Satchel Paige, Bob Feller. I mean, a whole bunch of them, And that was like the coolest thing ever, having that right in your backyard, Charleston Charlies. And the best part about, and there were some big stars that played up there in the Charleston Charlies, including Dave Parker. He played up there, Kent Tekulve, But anyway, he sent me these caps. I'll post a picture of them. They're awesome. Good, good stuff. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. All right, so on to the stuff I have written down. The other day, hang on a second. Okay, the other day I went to Jimmy John's. They have a brand new Jimmy John's here in our little town, and I don't know. It's better. It's definitely better than that stupid ass Subway. It's better than that, but it's not great. It's all right. I mean, it's fine. It's better than. It's a cut above Subway for sure. And when I first started going there, I thought, this is pretty good. This is like almost like a deli type, But, the more I go there, the less I like it. It doesn't have enough stuff on it. It's 75% bread, maybe 85% bread, just like Subway. But the bread's better. It's fresh, and it's not. It doesn't feel like it's like off a UPS truck, like that stupid ass Subway stuff, But anyway, one day I was aggravated. I know you might find that hard to believe, but It was time for me. I had to go to work. I had to go to work early because all this nonsense that's going on, and one of my kids was in the kitchen just puttering around like some little old lady, canning peaches or something, puttering, a little dash of this, a little bit of this. Like, what in the world? You're making a freaking sandwich. Why does it take 27 minutes? I'm like, oh my God. So I just said, to hell with it, I gotta go. So I left, and I had to get gas. I was sitting at the pump, after I filled, I didn't fill it. I don't fill my tank anymore because it's too expensive. I just put like $25 at a time. I don't know why I do it. It makes me feel better for some reason. 'Cause if I have to fill it up, it costs like, $60 or something. That makes me sad. It makes me panicked. So if I fill it up 3 times at $25, it makes me feel a little bit better. I'm fooling myself. So I put $25 worth of gas in my car. And before I drove off, there wasn't anybody behind me. I wasn't being a dick. But I was sitting there, and I pull up the Jimmy John's app, and I ordered a sandwich, and ordered it, paid for it through the app. And then I went over there and tried to pick it up. They have this window where you can, it's it's a window on the front of the store. You just drive up and swing open the door, and your stuff's sitting there, right? You don't even have to go into the store. So I do that. There's nothing there. The whole window's empty. I'm like, what the? So I have to park my car, and go in, which is irritating because I gave them enough time to make this stupid sandwich, And then this woman goes, excuse me, I'm like, what the? She goes, are you the owner? I said, what? Are you the owner of this Jimmy John's? I said, no. I'm picking up a ham sandwich. She goes, oh, sorry. I thought you were the owner. I'm like, what the? Why? Why? Just anybody that's walking around in the vicinity of the vicinity of this place obviously is the owner? I said, no, I'm not the owner. She goes, oh, okay, sorry. I'll go in there. Hey, where's my sandwich? And they're like, sorry, you didn't give us enough time. It's like, bullshit, So anyway, I ate that thing, and I was driving down the interstate eating that thing. And I picked up a napkin to wipe my mouth, while I'm driving, navigating Interstate 81. I picked up a napkin that was inside the bag, and I wiped my mouth off. And a piece of lettuce, was attached to the napkin or something, and it fell off, and it landed on my arm, and I thought it was a bug, and I almost crashed my car. It was like a piece of lettuce fell off the napkin. It landed on my forearm. I thought it was a bug, and I almost whipped the wheel straight to the left into the oncoming traffic, And I was like, God, calm down, man. You're gonna kill a family of 6. You're gonna kill yourself. Over a piece of shredded lettuce on your forearm. This is what it's come to. I'm too tightly wound. It's too much. It's too much for me. Some more fast food talk. All right. The other day, I've entered a new realm. Okay, out at work, I have nothing. There's just a bunch of shabby shit fast food out there. I've told you, it's on this road. It sucks. It's seedy. It's semi-run down. There's the world's worst McDonald's out there. I mean, there's no McDonald's. I mean, I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to plenty of them. And this one sucks. I mean, this one is the most poorly run. I don't know how they stay in business, to tell you the truth. It's out there. That place sucks. I mean, that place is terrible. I don't know why I continue going there. Every time I go there, it makes me mad. And then there's a shit rundown KFC. That place is seedy. I think everybody in there is selling drugs out of there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That place sucks. I hate KFC anyway. That place is it's like eating lunch out of a dumpster. They can pack that deep. The only good thing they have going for them is they have that exclusive peach Mountain Dew. That's the only thing. And then there's a Burger King, which is my choice. If I have to choose between those 3, there's a Burger King out there, but that's not good either. So I steer clear of that. There's a Subway out there too. That place is terrible. But so I try to steer clear of that. I have to drive a little bit farther into Wilkes-Barre, and over there they have a Chick-fil-A that's been open for like 2 years, but that place is pandemonium. I mean, for 2 years, it never slowed down. When they first opened, they drew huge crowds, and you couldn't get in there. It's like impossible. So there's no way, And there's a Wendy's over there, which is it's all right, And then there's a Cracker Barrel, and there's Popeyes, which sucks. And I don't know. There's a few things over there, but it's a little bit of a drive. But recently, just over the last few months, that Chick-fil-A has calmed down, right? You can actually get in there now. I mean, it's still crowded, but it's not like it was. You can actually go over there and have lunch and get back in a reasonable amount of time. So I've been going there a lot, and it's expensive, and I don't know. I remember when I lived in Atlanta, I used to bitch about how expensive it was because they had them all over the place in Atlanta. That's where they started. And it's still expensive. It's good, though. I mean, that thing is like that chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A. That is the best. Everybody's taking shots at them, trying to create the better chicken sandwich. Ha, 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 ha. I laugh in your face. Like that stupid Popeyes. That place is bullshit. That salty piece of shit, that terrible sandwich they have. Ugh. They can throw that in the river. And McDonald's has a pretty good. Well, I don't even know if they still sell it. They have a pretty decent one, but it's it's not nearly as good. And then there's that the KFC version. It's terrible. It's like a ball of. It's like a round piece of chicken. You can put like a ball of chicken on at that KFC, that one near us. I had that a couple times. I wanted to see it because there's all this hype about how it's better. I went through that. That's where that guy goes, KFC or something. KFC. It's like he's answering the phone. Like you pull up to the drive-thru, KFC. Like hello? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really weird. He's like. That's how it's like he's answering the phone, but you're at the drive-thru anyway. That KFC version, terrible. You go in there to the Chick-fil-A, that thing is perfect. That thing has, I mean, I don't want to get all haughty with you guys. It has it's lightly seasoned. Everything's fresh. There's a level of finesse. I don't want to get too fancy with you guys. The way it's prepared, it's like it's a quality. I mean, it's head and shoulders above all the other fast foods. So I get that number one, which is just the regular. I get the number one. I don't know what it's called, Supreme or whatever the hell it's called. It has lettuce, tomato, cheese on it. I like that. And then I order, and then it comes with the cross thatch fries, right? The waffle fries, those cross hatch, and then I get a sweet tea, and then I add a small mac and cheese, and their macaroni and cheese is fantastic, and it costs like $11, like $11.54 or something like that. That is a lot for a frickin' fast food meal, but it's good. It's really good. I mean, everything's really good, and everybody's nice there. You go down to that Popeyes down the road, and there's some surly woman with a gold tooth taking your order. You're like, couldn't give two shits whether what you want, what you get. Just places somebody needs to sweep. All the tables are dirty. You're not going to find that in the Chick-fil-A. But anyway, I went in there the other day, and I'm wearing an orange shirt. It's like like a button-up shirt, It's like, I don't know, it's got like a pattern on it, and it's just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's an orange and white shirt is what it is. And some guy, when I'm walking in, he goes, "Hey, man, love the yellow shirt." I'm like, what the? This thing's orange. And why are you commenting on my shirt? Like, what the? Who comments on some guy's shirt that you're just passing? He goes, "Hey, man, love the yellow shirt." Like, okay, well, thank you. Just keep walking, weirdo. Like, what the? First of all, it's orange. And second of all, who comments on somebody's shirt? You know what I'm saying? What a bunch of weirdness. But anyway, so that happened. Let's see what else I got here. Hang on a second. Oh yeah. So did you see this article? It was in the news a couple days ago about how certain foods take time off of your life. Very concerning to me because number one was the one that took the most time off of your life is a hot dog. A single hot dog, this article said, can take 36 minutes. I think that's what it was. 36 minutes off your life. One hot dog. One single hot dog will remove 36 minutes from your life. What do you think about that shit? I don't know if let me do that. Let me add this shit up. Hang on a second. Let's see. I probably had, I don't know. I'm just going to estimate. I don't know how many hot dogs I've had in my life. Let's see. 1,000,006 times 36 minutes. Not sure I'm going to make it to sundown. I don't know. This is concerning to me because I ate a lot of hot dogs. Love the hot dogs. How can you not like hot dogs? 36 minutes. That is concerning, man. I don't like that at all. The other foods, like here's some other stuff that removes time off your life. Bacon, 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Pizza, 7 minutes, 8 seconds. A double cheeseburger, 8 minutes, 8 seconds. I don't eat an enormous amount of pizza. An enormous amount of bacon, but I eat a shitload of pizza and I eat a shitload of cheeseburgers. That's not good. Here's some stuff that adds time to your life. Avocados. I never eat those. You know why? Because they taste like dirt. And bananas. I don't know. Rarely. Every once in a while, I'll fire up a bowl of cornflakes, cut up a banana on top of that thing. Anybody want a nanner? All right. That's a callback from a previous episode. Anyway, I'll cut up a banana. Is it rare? So the three they list three things on here that'll remove hours or minutes at least from your life. I'm a big fan of all of them. The ones that add time, no, I don't. I steer clear of those. It's very concerning. There is one thing on here. It says, what is it? I can't find it. Oh, it says salmon. See, I don't eat salmon. That cat, it adds 13 minutes, 5 seconds to your life. Here's one that I like. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Can somebody explain this to me? A peanut butter and jelly sandwich will add 33 minutes and 6 seconds to your life. Peanut butter and jelly. That's crazy. I don't understand what the criteria is for this thing. But I don't like that hot dog thing. That's concerning. 36 minutes. So I guess every time I eat a hot dog, I should eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to kind of counterbalance that shit. I got a major backlog. I'm going to have to eat so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to counterbalance that thing. Anyway, I'll link to an article. There's a whole bunch of them. It's all over the news. 36 minutes off your life every time you eat a hot dog. I eat so many hot dogs. That's not good. None of it's good. All right. Before we go here, I have a fresh new call from our old friend Ian in Scotland. Came in over the hotline, and I appreciate it as always. Here it is.
Hey, Jeff. It's Ian in Scotland here. Just listened to your episode 281. You seem especially grouchy. It must be really hot there, because when you start criticising ducks or geese for their imperfect flying formations, something's gone amiss. Something's going wrong in the K world when you're criticising ducks for not flying in perfect symmetry. So, Jeff, I listened to the episode also about your travel plans. $10,000 to come to Scotland? No way. No way. Clearly I haven't been to Scotland before. $10,000. Woo! That's a lot of money. Get a lot of castles for that, Jeff. But you do not have to spend this amount to come to Scotland. It can be done on the cheap. I was thinking about what you would like. Golf, great. Whiskey, great. Don't think you like either of those things. No much baseball happening here, by the way. But I did think about music. But he's trying to catch a band while you're here. That'd be cool, because Scotland, I believe, has some pretty good audiences. Lots of bands like come to Scotland because the audience are enthusiastic, I suppose. So yeah, I was looking at the Glasgow Barland Ballroom and what they've coming up in 2023. So check that out. Anyway, mate, I'm driving here and the road's getting a bit busy, so I'm going to call it a halt and speak to you later. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Ian. Yep. I mean, it's hot. It's too hot. It's so hot here. But that bugs me about those. I mean, you know, they need to get it together. Don't they communicate with each other? Those ducks, those flying ducks. Their V's are not, you know. One side's longer than the other. It bugs me. It's just, you know, when I look up and I shake my head and I'm like, what? You guys need to pull it together. You know, the ducks, the one side of the V is way longer than the other. I don't know what's going on. It bugs me. But it is the heat. That's hilarious. The trip to Scotland that Tony wants to do costs $10,000 approximately, including airfare and hotels and all that crap. It's through some kind of tour company. That's what she wants to do. I have never done that before, and I'm concerned about that. But whatever. That's her thing. If she wants to do that, I'm not going to fight against it. Other than the $10,000 part, if she wants to go on some kind of tour where we stay in like historic hotels and have meals in restaurants that are interesting and stuff, and we're with a group of people. I've never done that. That sounds terrible to me, but I don't know. Whatever, that's her thing. That's what she wants to do. She says she doesn't want to go until she can do it the way she wants to do it. And she wants to tour and see a whole bunch of castles, and she wants to go. She wants to stay in interesting hotels, and she wants to do it right, according to her. That's the way she does right. You know, that's how she defines right. So we're not going to do it. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go to England again. We're going to stay in the same neighborhood we stayed at the last time we were there. And we're going to do day trips and that kind of stuff. And, you know, that's what the plan is right now. I'm going to have to lose some weight before I go on that trip. You know, I'm going to have to do something. I need to do something. God, it's all these hot dogs. I mean, it's just like erasing days, weeks, months off my life eating these hot dogs. I'm like Joey Chestnut over here, except I'm doing it in slow motion, you know. Sheesh. Anyway, I guess that's what we're going to do. We want to both go to beautiful Scotland. I mean, sometimes, Ian, you post those pictures on Instagram when you're just out and about. Beautiful. The whole country seems like it's just incredibly beautiful. A lot like West Virginia. West Virginia is very beautiful, you know. And anyway, we want to come over there, and but she wants to do it her way. As far as seeing bands, no, she's not into that. I am. I'm very much into that, as you know. She's not. You know, she wouldn't go for that. If we went on vacation, she wouldn't allow me. I don't want to put it that way, but she would have a problem, let's put it that way. If I went off and saw a band, she would not go, all right? I mean, the only time she went to see that Paul McCartney show, but I think the previous show that she went to was when we took our young kids, who are now in their 20s, to see Weird Al Yankovic. I think that was the last time she doesn't do that. I, on the other hand, would love to. And speaking of music in Scotland, also golf, no, I don't care about golf. And I don't drink whiskey. You know, I'm a beer guy. I don't really like liquor at all. I would taste, you know, if I was over in Scotland and we were on some kind of tour of some kind of distillery or something, I would drink, you know, I would do the taste test stuff. It's not that. It's not really my thing. But so golf and whiskey, it doesn't really draw me. The music part, I jotted down, after I listened to your message here, I jotted down, just off the top of my head, some Scottish artists, musicians that I like, and I've probably missed a whole bunch. But I jotted these down just off the top of my head, all right? You ready? Lloyd Cole, Love Lloyd Cole. I think he's Scottish. I think he is. I didn't look any of this up. This is just from my own memory. Lloyd Cole, love him. He's fantastic. Teenage Fan Club, fantastic. Power Pop, I love them. Pretty sure they're Scottish. The Waterboys, awesome. World Party, which came from the Waterboys. Carl Wallinger, I believe, was in the Waterboys. He left and formed his own band, and I put that in air quotes. I think it's one of those Eels type situations where it's called World Party, but it's whoever he decides to play with, just like E with the Eels. I saw World Party one time at a small little club in Atlanta. One of the best shows I've ever seen. They played, I think I told this story before. It seems like I just told it recently. They were playing at the Roxy in Atlanta. And it was a rare show that I was unable to get tickets to. Because I was tapped in back in those days. I was working for a giant record company, and I knew all these label guys. I could go see anybody I wanted to, basically. But this is a rare one I was unable to get into. The thing sold out. I probably didn't have any money either, because I was poor all the time. But I didn't go. I was like bummed out. I love World Party, and I was unable to go. So I was driving around that night. I was driving somewhere, listening to 99X, which is the alternative station there. And they said the World Party show at the Roxy just got underway. I think it was the Roxy. It might have been Center Stage. It doesn't matter. The World Party show is underway, and we are now allowed to announce that they will be playing a second show tonight at the Point, which is this little corner bar. Basically, it's not a bar, but it is. I mean, it is a music venue, but it's tiny, and it was near our apartment. I said, what the? Says you can get over there now, and they'll be playing a full set at the Point. It costs $4 to get in. I went over there. I went straight over there, and it cost me $4 to get in. And they played the full show in this tiny little venue, and it was fan-flappin-tastic. Carl Wallinger, World Party. I'm pretty sure they're Scottish. Delamitri, familiar with them, and Jesus and Mary Chain. These are I think they're all Scottish. These are the ones that pop immediately to mind. There's probably dozens of others that I'm forgetting right now. But anyway, I would love that. Tony, on the other hand, nah. No. But anyway, I appreciate your input there, Ian. Unfortunately, I don't think Tony's going to go for it. She's already told me she won't. I said we could just fly into a city, into Scotland, like we're going to do in London, and just use that as a home base and do day trips. She goes, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. And I said, well, $10,000. $10,000. I mean, what the? I said, nah, I don't think so. So anyway, I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys, but she's not down with it. So I don't think it's going to happen that way. But I appreciate it. I'd like to come over there and maybe have a couple of adult beverages with you, Ian. That would be awesome. I'd love to do that someday. Maybe we can work that out at some point. So anyway, thanks for calling again. I appreciate it. And if you want to call in, like Ian, it's easy to do. The number, 570-290-8151. Again, 570-290-8151. The number's in the show notes if you miss it. If you missed that, if you weren't able to write that down, didn't jot that down, put it in your phone, man. If something pops into your head, give me a call. Also, speaking of show notes, surfreportpod.com is the place. Expanded show notes, photographs, links. I'll post a picture of those cool baseball caps. The Jim on my stomach. I'm sorry. I'm sow. I'm a disgusting sow. I don't know. I don't ever eat breakfast. It's not good. The way I operate my life, it's not good. I eat hot dogs all the time. I don't eat breakfast. Breakfast is the number one, that's the key to health, apparently. I don't eat it ever. So anyway, Jim Workman sent me those caps. I'll post a picture of those at the surfreportpod.com. Check that out. I need to update that $5 scratch-off project. It's way behind. I can't do anything. I'm unable to do anything. I can't live my life. I can barely live my life the way things are going right now. That thing's behind, but it's not good. Things are not good. I'm going to go over there today and buy 2 $5 scratch-offs. Hopefully I'll win $250,000. I mean, if we do, we'll be going to Scotland really soon. We'll be seeing you, Ian, if I hit that thing. But, I won't win jack shit. It'll just be, sorry, you're a loser. I don't need that. You don't need to tell me that. But anyway, I'll update that. I'll try to update that today. So, that's at the WVSR.com/scratch-off5, the $5 scratch-off project. As soon as this thing's over, I'm not doing any more. No more scratch-offs. Bullshit. I would not recommend. And, I don't know, the No New Jeffs column. Oh, yeah, there's a new one up there. It's called Surviving the 2-Week Notice Syndrome. And you can read all about it. You can read what the 2-week notice syndrome is. And that's at nonewjeffs.substack.com, or you can just go to nonewjeffs.com. It'll redirect. So check that out if you're so inclined. And we're at the end of this thing. Thank you guys for everything. I appreciate it. I won't be gone. I'll try not to be gone so long. And I apologize for that. But until next time, which will be a Patreon episode. Oh, that's another thing. Patreon, if you want 2 of these a week instead of a measly one, head on over to patreon.com/JeffK. Sign up for a $4 or more monthly donation, and you'll get an extra episode every week. It helps me out a great deal, and you get an extra episode every week. So check that out. Surf Report. No, what is it? Oh, patreon.com/JeffK. All right, we're at the end of this thing. The next one will be over on Patreon, and until then, you guys have yourselves a fine, fine day. I'll see ya. Bye. Eight-track tape, wax cylinder. I don't care. It doesn't matter.